In this video, I'm going to react to the don'ts of visiting Texas. Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of Kabir Considers. This is the place where I react to music, media, sports, anime, anything related to popular culture. I'll watch it with an open mind and give you my 100% honest reaction to it. And if you could please hit that like button early, I'd really appreciate it. Now this video I think is going to be both interesting and entertaining because Texas is a place that, a lot of people that aren't from America want to visit. It's probably one of the most famous states in America, probably up there with California, New York. When I think of Texas, I think of, everything being huge. I think of barbecue, I think of cowboys, even though I'm not sure that there are cowboys in Texas, maybe there are. And Walter's World, he does a great job in kind of condensing a lot of information into good digestible chunks, tons of, pointers, things to do, things not to do. I reacted to his don'ts of visiting the South about a week ago, and I took so many nuggets of information from that video. He really does a great job. So yeah, I feel like this video is going to be just as informative. So let's go. This is going to be me reacting to the don'ts of visiting Texas. Let's do it.
Hey there, fellow travelers. Mark here with Walter's World. Today we're here in Texas, and today what we have for you are the don'ts of visiting Texas, because there's tons of stuff you do want to do when you're here. Yes, you got the major cities like San Antonio and seeing the Alamo, and Austin, all the cool stuff there, and Houston by the coast, and Dallas, and there's, go up to Abilene. There's so many cool things to see here in Texas, but the thing is, when you come, sometimes you forget about the things you don't do, or you shouldn't do, or you should watch out for, and that's why we have the don'ts of visiting Texas. And our first don't of Texas is,
I just have to say, the parking space provided at this restaurant, you just would never see it here in the UK. It's just, I count at least, 40 car park spaces. Here, you're lucky if you get 10. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Don't think you're going to get around quickly anywhere in Texas. Look, Texas is huge, and the thing is when you're going to try to get around the state, you're going to be driving, okay? There's not really a public transportation network that a tourist is going to use. So one, you're either going to be flying around, but most likely you're going to be driving. And the distances are huge when you are here, so you do need to be prepared for that.
For example, Houston to El Paso, 745 miles. Dallas to Houston, 240 miles. So that's about a 5-hour drive, I think. Woo!
And so when you are coming here, you got to make sure you're ready to rent a car, though it's cool because all the rental cars are automatic and easy to do. But when you're driving around, don't forget to pay attention, because you'll see on the highways, it's like people are either going 95 miles an hour or 45 miles an hour. And so it gets a little scary sometimes, so make sure you really do pay attention. But it does take a long time to get anywhere. Also, that long time thing, not in a quick time, also deals within the cities, because Texas is growing so quickly. Cities like San Antonio and Austin, they're growing so quickly that sometimes it's hard for the cities to keep up. So the traffic jams during rush hour can be a real pain. So what we recommend is, to your place like Austin or San Antonio or wherever, park your car and you just Uber around places. It'll make it a lot easier for you, or take a taxi or whatever, because the parking and all these things can be a bit much.
Ah, I see. Wow. I mean, okay, if you were short on time, let's say you only had, I don't know, four days in Texas, maybe a week in Texas, would you advise flying around the state as opposed to just driving? Because I imagine driving, you're going to lose a lot of time, in transit.
Now, my second don't for you is, when you are coming around here and you are driving around, don't forget to look out your windows. I know it sounds silly. Well, Mark, of course I look out my window, I'm driving. No, what I'm saying is, look around. You're going to see so much of Texas. Yes, you will see some longhorns out there. You will go through the hill country, maybe stop into Fredericksburg and see the German history there. And you go around the plains in the north. You have such varied beauty here in Texas. That's one of those things like, man, that looks like a cute town. Maybe I'm going to get off the highway. Maybe I'm going to go over and check some stuff out. Definitely do that. Go and go see the beauty of this state, because it's great. Now my third don't for you actually deals with Buc-ee's, this place behind me, and that is when you're driving around. You're probably gonna be like, man, we gotta get gas, we gotta get something to eat, what should we do? And a lot of people get kind of scared of gas stations and big truck stops kind of like this. Dude, don't be that way. Don't skip out on going to Buc-ee's or one of these huge places where you can go. And Buc-ee's is hilarious because it's kind of like Field & Stream and Walmart and a really, really nice gas station.
Oh, so Buc-ee's isn't just a restaurant. I thought Buc-ee's was like a burger place or something like that.
Had a baby together. The baby was born here in Texas, and everything is Texas and Buc-ee's. I mean, it's a really cool place to go. But don't skip out on that, because you will have to use these. And the thing is Texans have a lot of pride, and that pride shows in the cleanliness of the state, the nice things that are Texas you will enjoy, and people put the pride into and make it nicer. So yes, you can get a nice brisket sandwich inside a truck stop. Well, Buc-ee's at least. Also, get the beaver nuggets. They're awesome, by the way. And that kind of leads into my next don't for you. Don't skip out on the local shops and the local produce and local products here in Texas. Yes, you have places like Buc-ee's that you can go see that's really just here. You have H-E-B, which is a grocery store chain you can have here in Texas. It's based in San Antonio.
Yeah, for me, this is like a no-brainer, because like if I'm going to a place I've never been before, like if I was just gonna, stick with the chain restaurants, the big department stores that are everywhere, you'd be losing out on so much of the authenticity of that state, the local flavor, if you know what I mean.
And you get a lot of things that are really, really Texas-y. Yes, there is Whataburger. There's one right across there. I know Whataburger's kind of expanded, but it's got a little special place in my heart when I'm in Texas, because what a burger should be. Sorry, it's just memories back of childhood. But there's so much Texas stuff you can have when you are here. So do take that in and get that Texasness. If you're here in the fall, make sure, go hit up a football game. Look, Sunday, they're watching the Cowboys. Yeah, maybe Houston, Texas, but no. I've been a Cowboys fan since I was a kid, so I go for them. On Saturdays, you got college football. Just pick the closest college near you. You have a great time. Friday nights, yes, the kids are playing high school football that night. So you do have those.
Wow, football. I mean, Texas just seems to be a real football state, right? Football has to be the biggest sport in Texas. Has to be, right?
So go out and enjoy those Texas-only things. Don't skip out on it. Don't think, oh, I'm going to go to In-N-Out Burger. Well, that's California, man. Hit Whataburger when you're in Texas, all right? And speaking of those Texas-only things, my next don't for you is don't drink non-Texas beer. Look, the beer in Texas is fantastic.
Really?
There was a lot of German immigrants that actually came here and settled in Texas. So, the Wiener Schnitzel that you have in Germany and Austria, well, you got chicken fried steak here, right? It's great. But they didn't just bring their fried, tasty foods and the collages and stuff like that from the Czech Republic and things like that. What you got that's really good is the beer. And when you're going around Texas, you'll have not just microbreweries, but you have local breweries that make Texas beer, and it is really, really, really good. I mean, they took that tradition from Germany.
The more he's talking about beer, the more I want an ice cold beer right now. And it's so early in the day, so I'd be judged massively, but yeah, an ice cold beer. That'd be such a treat right now.
And brought it here, so you will drink well. And I know, I'm not saying drink Lone Star, okay? Like I tell with Lone Stars, Lone Star tastes good after you've had 4 or 5 of the other good Texas beers, then Lone Star's fantastic. But go and try other stuff. And probably if you're not in Texas right now, if you want to have a Texas beer, go buy a Shiner Bock. They sell that throughout the U.S. That'll give you a taste, but that's not even probably one of the top 10 that are here. There's so many good things from Austin, San Antonio, all over. Go enjoy the local beers here. Don't skip out on that. And I know it's funny that I'm talking about beer when I'm outside of a gas station, but don't drink and drive when you are here, but do enjoy the good local beers, okay? So there's a good start to our...
Wow, what is that? It looks like deep fried asparagus or something.
Don'ts. Now, I know seeing a gas station, even a cool one like Buc-ee's, probably isn't what you're looking for when you're thinking, Mark, where are you filming in Texas? Well, let's go see a little bit different places here in Texas to finish off our don'ts of Texas. So now we're here in San Antonio. This is actually my favorite city to come to in Texas, and we're here on the Riverwalk. And yes, the Riverwalk is more than just the downtown part. It goes through the city. It is really kind of a cool thing. And my next don't for you for when you come to Texas is don't forget to mind your manners, because the Texans won't forget. Look, the people here are super friendly, they're super nice, and when all these people move to Texas, they kind of get that niceness as well. And that means when you come here as a tourist, don't forget your pleases, your thank yous, holding that door for that young lady or that old man or that young
Man, what is that? That's a taco, right? Looks so big. So many flavors. I see a bit of cheese, some peppers. I think that's like a fried bit of chicken, maybe.
man or somebody with the kids, you're gonna be practicing your manners when you are here, so don't forget that. Look, the pleases, the thank yous, the howdy y'alls, these kind of things, they're legitimate here. People will help you out, and believe me, the locals will tell you, no, don't go to this barbecue place, go to that barbecue place. For the best puffy tacos in San Antonio, go to Henry's, don't go downtown to the Riverwalk. They're gonna tell you everything you wanna know in a friendly way, so make sure when you are here, you do practice the kindness and friendliness of Texas. So yes, and my next don't for you is, don't think that Texas is kind of like the deep South, because a lot of people put like, oh, Georgia, Alabama, Texas, they're all the South, they're all the same. No, Texas is its own thing completely. I mean, it was its own country for a little while, and you can tell that when you are here. It's a huge state with a lot of different kind of Texan culture kind of stuff, and yes, there are some things that kind of pass from the South to here, you know.
Yeah, like someone, I think I've heard a few times that the whole of the UK, so, you know, England, Scotland, Northern Ireland, Republic of Ireland, Wales, like, all could fit in Texas 3 times over. That, like, it's just that's just mind-blowing, like, mind-blowing, because obviously I've been all over the UK, and, you know, driving to, you know, Scotland, for example, that's a long-ass drive. So to think that you'd have to multiply that drive by 3 to get from one end of Texas to the other, blows my mind.
People are really friendly, like I said, and there's a lot of similar foods, the barbecue and stuff like that, but it has a different vibe to it when you're here. So don't think, oh, this is the Southeast, the deep South. No, this is Texas when you are here. And I guess the thing I'll tell you is, when you're looking at the don'ts, remember I talked about barbecue is here as well? Well, in the Southeast, it's more pork, you know, pulled pork and stuff like that, butts and things like that. Oh, no. Here, don't eat the pork with the barbecue. What you want to eat is the brisket, the beef. So you're going to have beef brisket, beef ribs, maybe, okay, you can have some sausage and stuff like that, but it's really a brisket-based barbecue when you are here. So
that meat looks so tender. Oh.
Don't get the pork, get the brisket, okay? And that kind of leads to the next thing is, don't forget to come hungry when you come to Texas. Because remember that old saying, everything's bigger in Texas? Well, the portion sizes, they go along right with that. And so when you get your chicken fried steak, yeah, it's gonna be nice and big. When you're gonna get your brisket.
Wow, the size of that. It's almost as big as the plate. That thing is huge.
Oh, maybe get a pound or 2 of brisket. You're gonna have a lot of food, a lot of great food, a lot of stuff here, and it's gonna fill you up. And yes, if you can find a Frito pie, where it's the Frito chips, you know, like tortilla chip kind of things, where they put the chili and the cheese on it, yes, have that. You will be filled up and tasty, fully engorged while you are here. The chicken fried steak, man, when it's this big, you can't have enough of it. So that's why I always say is, don't forget to come hungry, because you will leave completely full of stuff. Because
puffy tacos in San Antonio. Oh, very interesting. This looks like some kind of beans mixture, I think. Bit of rice.
Man, everything's bigger in Texas, especially the food. And with that food, if you see a line outside of a place, don't be scared to wait in that line, because the food here is great and the locals know what's great. So they're gonna be waiting in line to get the best barbecue and the best Tex-Mex, the best food that you can have, the best food trucks in different places. So you see the line, don't worry about it, go get it and enjoy some food that way. Some other don'ts I have for the food when you are here, don't forget the queso. Look, in Texas, queso is not just cheese dip, it's like a way of life. It's something you have to have. And I know I've been with people here in Texas, they say, oh, we need to get the queso. And they're like, why? I don't want queso, let's get something else. I'm like, no, you don't understand. You had to have the queso when you're here. The cheese and the pico de gallo in it, and it's stirred up, and the tasty, and the spices in it. Oh, it's so good.
His love for food is literally just like mine. Like, literally, I can feel the same kind of energy.
So make sure you don't say no to that queso. Because believe me, when you go places and restaurants, they're like, oh, do you want some queso and chips? Yes. Yes, you do, okay? And the thing is, my next don't is don't
Queso.
stop
I
with the
need to try
queso.
some.
Look, I told you, don't forget to come
Whoa,
hungry,
what is
but also
that?
don't skip out on the Tex-Mex when you are here.
Ooh.
There's a ton of great Tex-Mex restaurants in pretty much any city you go to.
God.
You're gonna eat well when you have it. And for example, there's some local specialties as well. Here in San Antonio, the puffy tacos, you gotta have when you are here. So make sure, load up on that queso and the Tex-Mex. You can't.
I've said it a million times, but we need some really good Mexican options here. Like, there's a big gap in the market for some Tex-Mex. I think people would be all over it. So yeah, if you own a Tex-Mex restaurant, think about opening a franchise here in London.
Can't go wrong with that. So my next don't for you is don't complain about the weather when you come to Texas. Look, Texas in the summer is hot as hell. Okay, no one is going to deny you
Wow.
that. Okay, so don't complain about it. You know that you're coming.
No way, is this him like when he was younger? Wow, he looks so different. How hot does it get in Texas? Like, what's the hottest you've ever seen in Texas? And like, does it get cold or is it kind of hot year round? Like, what are the both extremes you felt? So the hottest it's been, the coldest it's been.
Here in July and August, yes, you will melt. That is how it works. So don't complain about it. But the thing is, I want you to know is, don't forget that Texas actually gets chilly in the wintertime. I mean, we're here in January.
Really?
Look, I've got my quarter zip on. I have a jacket. It was in the 20s the other night where we were. Yes, sometimes there's some dusting of snow in Texas. I know, you think Texas,
Wow.
it's always sunny and hot every day. No, don't think that way.
Oh yeah, there was wasn't there like a snowstorm in Texas? Maybe last year or something? I think a lot of people lost electricity. I think something like that happened in Texas recently.
Make sure you are actually, checking the weather forecast before you come. Do the 10-day forecast. Make sure that if you do need to bring a sweater or a jacket, you're ready to go so you can get those, okay? You're gonna need that occasionally at night, especially in the winter months. Now, my next don't for you is when you do come to Texas, don't skip the sights. I know I've talked about driving all over the state, and I've talked about eating at places like Buc-ee's and Tex-Mex and puffy tacos and drinking the local beer, and I haven't got into the really amazing sites that are all over Texas. Yes, going to Austin and going to South Congress and seeing the cool shops there, and going to Rainy Street and drinking up there, or going to Dallas, or going to Houston, going to the coast.
Nice, I like that. Sitting on this little, what would you call that? A boardwalk? Yeah, that'd be lovely.
The Padre Island, all these kind of things. There's so many cool things to see, but there's cool sights as well. And San Antonio is probably my favorite for that. And the thing is, you all have heard about the Alamo, right? Remember the Alamo? Well, don't forget it. Visit it when you are here. But it's not actually the coolest site in San Antonio. The coolest sites to see when you are here are the Spanish missions, okay? Go and check those out. And you go around the state, there's really good museums. And the thing is, this state has had a lot of money throughout the years. So you've got really good art galleries in Austin and Dallas and San Antonio. You can get all kinds of, art you can check out in galleries. And so go out and enjoy that. And don't think it's just barbecue and beer when you are here. It is so much more. And the thing is, with those cool sites and cool food, it's actually brought in a lot of people from the rest of the United States to live in Texas.
Yeah, I hear there's a massive exodus between California and Texas. A lot of Californians are relocating to Texas, perhaps even from other states. So yeah, it wouldn't surprise me because I've heard Texas is quite an affordable state to live in comparable to the rest of the US. But it wouldn't surprise me if the cost of living just goes higher and higher.
And so I guess my next don't I'll have for you is if you're in a city like San Antonio or especially Austin or maybe Dallas and you meet somebody there, don't be surprised if they're not a local. You have a lot of people from all over the US that have moved here. And so meet an actual Austinite in Austin, it's like, oh wow, I thought you weren't real. I thought you were a unicorn. Because you do have all these people moving around and coming here, and that's what's made it really cool. Anyway, those are just some of the fun little don'ts that I have for visiting Texas. What are some of the don'ts that you have for visiting Texas? It really is a great place. We've really enjoyed it. The people are fantastic, amazing food, amazing drink, amazing times, art, culture, all kinds of stuff, and it's not what you think Texas is going to be. Come and explore and learn for yourself because you will enjoy it.
I can't wait to
I'll
visit.
say bye from San Antonio, and y'all enjoy Texas.
I'm even more excited to visit. Like, the food looked so good, the beer looked so good, and it sounds like it's not just the same kind of thing. Like, there's a variety between the different cities, so San Antonio, Austin, and Yeah, I think initially I thought that, you know, if I go to the US for 6 weeks, I could maybe do 6 states, a week in each one. I'm gonna try and think of how to, you know, get between those states, because driving might make the most sense, but based on the distances that I saw, you know, 600 miles, 800 miles, that's a lot of time in the car. So I don't know whether flying might be the better option. I probably need to do a bit of research, but yeah, I cannot wait to see Texas. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, turn on bell notifications, and keep throwing the recommendations my way. I know I say it all the time, but they genuinely help me out, because if I know you enjoyed watching something, I'll definitely enjoy reacting to it. So like, subscribe, turn on bell notifications, keep throwing the recommendations, and I'll catch you in the next one.